Good morning everyone, fellow YouTubers, new subscribers, fellow hikers, wild campers, and just those curious that come across my channel. It's a lovely morning, 8:16. I couldn't tell you a date. I'm guessing July 9th, 10th. I will put the date up on the screen. That's the one thing I always forget. We're just starting our hike into the Cairngorms in Scotland. We've left the Linn of Dee Woods, which is near Braemar. And just taking in the views. It's about 14 degrees. The sun is trying to come out. Looks lovely. You too. Hey. Keep my eye on my two dogs. Haven't been to the Cairngorms since my military days, which I was about 18. I used to do skiing in Aviemore and do a lot of Arctic training in the winter. I couldn't even tell you where. Everything was grid reference in them days. We didn't get locations. You too. It's busy here. Hikers and joggers. And even some bikers. I like this. This is like in Sweden. Stop you damaging the ground. Oh, very nice. Yeah, it's going to be warm. So beautiful already. And it just started. Been another 10-hour drive. Took our time this time. It could have been 9, but I just took my time. Got here about 4:30. Managed to get about an hour's sleep, and just took my time preparing to go. Right, I've got to let these through. I'll catch you in a bit once these have burnt some energy off. Look at her trying to figure out how to get through. Dumb dogs. Hopefully she'll get up without any problems. That's all she wanted, to have a good steak. I guess being in the car for 10 hours, she's feeling it. Hopefully she can get up that bank. This is what I worry about, this bit. Oh no, oh yeah. Can you get up? That's when she can pull her back legs. Go on you. But you wanted to do it. Go on. Do I need to pull you? Hold on, I might need to pull her. No, she's all right. Dogs. Oh, I scare you. Rebel, I know you do it, but oh, this is a bit springy. The beam's all right. It's the boards, the top boards are a bit springy. And we turn left here. And what we're doing is we're following this glen all the way up to those mountains in the distance. Wow, look beautiful. And after you've had a good steak. She's trying to get back down here. No, she's all right. I'm watching them back legs. Yeah, she's fine. Sorry, I sound like I'm fretting, but you've got to worry when she's about 11 and a half, 11 3/4. I don't overdo it. That's why I'm taking these places. It's nice and easy for her now. You worry me, Stella. Live. Trying to get down to the water. That's where we're heading, top of that in the end. Booze, booze. There's the track we're on, branched off, and this is the Bob Scott Memorial Hut. Hopefully there's no one there so we can have a good peek around. Rebel, be careful. There's a tent outside, so I don't know if anyone's stopping. To be honest, I'd rather be outside. It's a bit stuffy in here, but in bad weather, perfect place, isn't it? Is that in the winter? You imagine how bad it gets. Just showing you some of the pictures because, good God, it's like a yeti. Oh, it's good to see the dog. You're sleepy. Lovely. And there's a toilet. Is your outside privy or toilet? So I don't want to go around there, there's a tent, so someone might be sleeping. Just let them have a dunk in the water, these two. Gives me a chance to take the pack off. as I say, no racing around. Look at that, for water source as well. Brilliant, and a bathing area. As I say, summer, you're always going to have a lot of people around here in the summer. Winter, you'll probably get cut off if it snows. I see there's a lot of signs about fire issues as well. Back on the track, and just over my sticks you can see the memorial hut where we've just been. Cosy, tucked away there, nice, in amongst the trees. Nice stream or river. Right, next is Derry Lodge, a little bit further up here. As I say, they were going to convert it into some kind of holiday homes or something, but I don't know what's happened. Last time I saw it was all bricked up. It was a beautiful building, but it's all enclosed. Here's your Derry Lodge, still enclosed. Oh, I thought it was bricked. I saw photos and it looked like it had been bricked in, but it's not, it's boarded. Shame, mate, a good boffy that would, wouldn't it? Oh God, you'd get rammed, wouldn't it, with people. Nice place to wild camp though. Got a wooded area. Yeah, some nice spots down in there. I was thinking when I was coming up here, this is the typical place you want to come if you want to learn to wild camp in Scotland and you want to learn to navigate and things like that. You've got tracks, so you can't get lost as such, as long as you've got a map, but you're not going off the beaten track because you could just follow these tracks. Plus you'll get used to the insects, how it is in Scotland, you know, the weather conditions. Every time they see a building they think it's a boffy. Right, boffy bums, aren't they? I've got to make sure I know where we go. Oh, that's where the lads are. They passed me a minute ago. I didn't take a photo. Rebel, get it. Come from where that wireless hut is. Don't know what it is. There's some bikes there, so I guess someone's up on some of the high spots. Then we go over this bridge and follow the path up. A couple of hikers about, so I'm giving them some space, and we're getting attacked by a big fly. Nice, and put this up. In the winter you'd need it, you get washed away. I have not got wet feet yet. That's how good it is. Nice breeze here, beautiful. Giving the dogs a dunk. Right, we go up here to Derry Dam, which is this way. Oh, there's more hikers ahead of us. A lot of people. Come along a trail, very single, narrow trail. Sorry, exhausted, done 6 miles. That area coming up there, quite rough going because there was no wind. It was enclosed with trees, loads of flies. They were eating us alive and it was very muggy. So I get to the bridge and it says bridge is closed. It says go back to the bridge where we crossed earlier. I'm not going back. So I'm going to look. I'm going to have lunch, but I'm going to have to find a way to get across this river. Might have to do it down here. Might be the first getting wet feet time. Looks like a spot there and go over. No, you can't go through there. Let's have a look up here. Due to flood damage, it says. Oh, well. I haven't seen a single soul going this way. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, there's a bank there, isn't there? It looks like footsteps, but that looks as deep as where the pebbles are. And this is just going to snake round. Yeah, just as I thought. So I have to cross out the rocks. Just as deep there, it looks very deep there. Yeah, we were just saying end up on a sandbank and sink up to our shins. So lunch and then cross out the rocks. Let's see what this bridge is like. I'll check it out without the dogs. It might be okay. It might be just them being extra cautious. I mean, the worst it can do is fall about 3 feet. And ain't gonna kill you. It mightn't be that bad. Someone squeezed through, but I don't think you can squeeze through the other end. Right, I'm gonna check it out. Stay there, you. I did think about going across with the pack and kind of spinning the pack around there and letting the dogs go through the water, but as you can see, it's all crumbling there. The bridge could fall sideways, not just drop down, but fall sideways with me on it. I weigh 175 pounds and I've got a 50-pound pack now probably, and it'd be just too much aggro. And of course someone's been through, but of course they put these signs up for a reason, don't they? And people can't complain when they fall over and break their necks. So nah, it's not worth it. A bit of wet feet won't kill. So what I'll do is, instead of tiptoeing on rocks that are slippery, I'll just go on the sandbank down there and try and paddle through there and come up the side there. And the dogs will just do what they like. Yeah, I know I could go through, I could drop bags over and spin round, but you know what I mean? That is really, really crumbly under there. I don't know if you can really see it. It's all washed away underneath, so too much weight. And it's going to go sometime, isn't it? I don't want it to go when I'm on it. So, I've had lunch. It's 11:45. There's a bit of wind here, but the flies have been eating me. I'm going to have lumps all over my head. I felt one biting my arm a minute ago. Got jaws of a, I don't know what. What do you reckon, Stella? They've been fed. We've still got about another, I've done nearly 7 miles and I've still got about another 4. So I'm going to be passing my target, so I'm going to have to be careful with Stella. But it's been easy going. Let's get wet feet. It's not worth the aggro. If I didn't have a pack, didn't have dogs, I'd chance it. But nah. I could see it all going wrong with the dogs. Right, off we go. Too much love. Now you see why he's closed it. Look at that. Rebel, get away. That is just literally hanging on to some concrete. Wow. I'll see, because I'm coming back this way, I'll see where that sign's telling me to cross now. Because over there it's telling me to go back, but here it's going to tell me somewhere else. If I can get through this boggy bit here. I mean, look at that. That was all stone there, it's been washed away. There's only so much weight that'll take in it, and then it'll pop. So there you go. We came across that water stretch there, but if I'd known that was closed, you could have crossed the bridge further back at the beginning and come down this trail. Same if you're coming from Braemar area and the lochs. If you're coming back towards Linn of Dee, or whatever it is. I've forgotten the name already. Don't go down there, carry on there and cross that bridge at the bottom. Hope that helps someone. We go that way. I still ain't seen no one. Saw people on the other side, but we're seeing no one on this side at all. Weird. That's nice. Gives me a feeling of being more remote. Well, we made it to the memorial hut. We came from right down the valley down there and round. Probably get some wind noise. But look, to get to the loch, we've got to go up this last bit. And trust me, it might not look steep, but the video's not doing it justice. It's steep. It's like going up William Clough, if you've been in Peak District, all the way from the bottom to the top. Oh dear. But yeah, I'll show you inside. A bit smelly in it. When I mean smelly, nothing bad, it's just a bit stale. Some step ladders, it's clean. Oh, fire logs there. Nothing special. Sometimes people leave things, you know what I mean? You never know what you find in here. Just to perk you out like some whiskey. Nice fire. Typical ones you see in the buffets and some of the ones I've had in some of the private mountain shelters. A rail for hanging your gear. Whoops. Try to get you out of the shadow, showing you building it. Oh, temperature gauge. Some notes saying they've been stopping here 9th of the 7th, a few days ago, a couple of days ago. People stop here, I think, coffee break or just to get out the wind if it's windy. I like the fact it's got some curtains. It's the first one I've ever known that have curtains. So if anyone's going to be peering in. Just smells a bit stale because it's so small. Shut it. Come in a godsend, wouldn't it? In the winter, you get caught out in a blizzard. No locking. Normally I have a bolt. Nothing. That's really weird. Please remove crampons. I haven't got any. Maybe that's what I needed. So the loch could be nice and high. I was chatting to someone coming down, he says it's not too bad up there, it's quite sheltered for the loch because the wind's coming the right way unless it changes, that is. I wonder what that is. Oh, I didn't show you the plaque. Don't know if you can read that. Right, reblend. 2 o'clock bang on. I'll go get top of this for 4. Yeah, it should do that. Have a couple of heart attacks on the way up. It should be fine. Bye, Mr. Bungalow. Or, as it is known, Memorial Hut. Oh, is that a temperature gauge on the outside? I bet it's broken, isn't it? Oh no. I'm trying to see where it ends. 16. That's because of the wind. About 16, I reckon. Right, we've got to get up here. Yeah, we finally arrived. Sorry, I forgot all about you. I was busy. Got the tent up. You might have noticed a different tent from last one. If you didn't watch the last video, I was in a Noidart and I was using the Abisco Light. Now, go back a little way. I used to have an Abisco Shape 2. This is an Abisco Shape 3. As I was saying, I was on the last video, I was using an Abisco Light, thinking I could save some weight and save some space, you know what I mean? It was a good tent, I'm not going to lie. It was a good tent, but I still miss that porch area. You know, I think it's working out £0.50 added on because of the porch area. I used the Abisco Light footprint. I wasn't going to buy another footprint, so it only goes so far up. But I don't mind. I'm not spending another £90 on a footprint when I've got a footprint. Pitch is uneven. As you can see, I've got a rock there. It's just, as you look around, it's very hard to find a level pitch. You may be getting some wind noise. I do apologise. I'll try and talk to you in here. There is better pitches nearer the loch, but as I said in the last video when I was annoyed, I need the dogs away from the water, because if they get in the water and I miss it, you know what I mean, they're soaked. They come in the tent, they soak their bedding, but they also shake and probably soak my bedding. So common sense says keep that distance away from the loch. Got up here about quarter to 4, sorry, and my target was 4 o'clock. It was blowing crazy, and it still has the off moment. I don't know if you can see up there. That's towards Ben McDoo, I think it's called, not Dewey or whatever. You'll see some snow. There's still some snow in some parts up there, and that's where we're aiming. Again, on the video it looks really small, trust me, it's really steep and big. dogs are whacked, I'm whacked. I got here, I was filtering water. I could have filtered from the lot, but I'm glad I didn't, because I went to, there's a waterfall where it's running off, and I was using the soil and the stones and all that to filter a bit before I got to it. Because when I was using my water filter, it was slowing my water filter down because there's sediment in the water. So yeah, I was doing it. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. And I was filtering water, and two people turned up, and they want to pitch a tent over down there. I think that's out of order. This is my loch. I will put the name up, by the way. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. When you see the name, you'll realise why I didn't try and pronounce it. There's a small one, and then that leads to the bigger one. That's what they say on the map, but I don't think really there is a small one. I think it's just one big one now. Yeah, I know I'm rambling. I'm tired. Gonna get them settled inside because Stella wants to rest, and she's earned her rest. And I don't want it getting cold out here, because when you stop, it gets chilly. I checked the temperature earlier. When I got here, it was 17.4, feeling like 17.3. So it wasn't bad, but we've had 30 degrees, and today I think it's 32 where we've come from. So imagine 17. To us, it feels quite cool, which is nice, and they'll sleep well and I'll sleep well, but it's a bit of a jump from 30 degrees. So yeah, I'm happier with the Bisco shaped 3 rather than the Bisco light, sorry. And the good thing was, I saw one on Fleabay going for an unbelievable price, and that's what made me choose it. I thought, should I, shouldn't I? And I went, oh, go for it, you know what I mean? And the Bisco light I sold, I more or less broke even. I didn't, well, put it like this, I didn't pay any more because I didn't get a footprint. So at the end of the day, I haven't lost money, and I'm happier. And look, when you're carrying 50 odd pounds, do you think half a pound is going to make that much difference? No. So I'd rather have, look, all my gear's in, it's easier, it's organised. I think that's what was doing it. I couldn't organise in the Bisco light. I didn't have enough port space, so it was all rammed in. It was cosy, I think I remember the words I said. But when I got home, I thought about it, and there's just something I didn't like. Also, I think this extra pole that is for the porch adds better structure to the tent. So I don't think I'll get as much sagging as I got last time. There was a hell of a lot of sagging on that last tent. But when temperatures change, it goes from hot, cold, and you get dew on and all that, they will sag. It's the fabric. So yeah, I've got some neighbours. Weird. There's a massive mountains around here, and they want to come down and pitch close to me. It's humans for you, isn't it? It's weird what humans do. Right, I got to get Stella settled because she's getting grumpy. Probably frumpy as well. Right. It's getting earlier. It's windy out. It's just calmed down for a minute now I've said that. I hope the sun ain't come out, because it hasn't been out all afternoon. Once we got here. Sorry, you got a finger in the way, I think, then. But it's getting chilly out there, and I think it's a mix between it getting chilly and me stopping and getting cold. Excuse me. Had my cheese mac, I think I showed you. Fruitcake. Dogs had a little bit, but they were worn out. They were tired today. from it being extra hard or anything like that. It was just, you know, a good slog that way. Enjoyed it. So I'm thinking, instead of doing anything silly, let's get some rest. And then I can recharge. And plus I can recharge. I mean, look, even rebels whack. But they love it, you know. Tell you, what dogs do you know that go up the mountains on a regular basis, like every 4 weeks, 6 weeks? There you go, here we go. Kind of goes crazy, it kind of picks up and then shakes their tail and then goes. But I was checking the wind speeds, and earlier it was 10 miles per hour, so that's nothing. I mean, it's just because we're exposed. But then it was picking up about 15 to 18. And they said it would deteriorate overnight, so I'm expecting some strong winds. So they said. So I've double checked all my pegging points. This tent is pegged down every square inch. Tighten up the guy lines just before I went settle down. When I go out later on, sorry Stella, I touched your nose. When I go out later to feed them, instead of forgetting to tighten the guy lines, I shall go out and do the guy lines as well. And then we won't have saggy, drippy tent in the morning, hopefully. That's about it. Oh, it's only when you stop you get tired. Look at these monsters. Oh, sorry, you got my hand in the way. Yep. So if you got this far watching the videos, good luck on you. No, joking aside, I've always said my videos are not going to be like anyone else's. I don't intend to make them like anyone else's. I've always said from day one, the main aim is to enjoy myself, my dogs enjoy themselves, and just get out and explore. But I also wanted, as I said, I want to show people the trails just in case they want to use them, and maybe give some people some ideas, you know, kit, how we go about things with dogs, you know, just in case you want to bring your dog out and start doing it. You'll not see me on videos, this is passing by. Excuse me again. Oh, I'm really bad. Because I'm not interested in plastering myself on videos. I was watching recently a couple of people that have done really well on their YouTube channel, and they're depressed, completely stressed out. They're on about quitting YouTube, the family's suffering, and these are people that are well, you know, kind of experienced and been doing YouTube for many years, you know, well established, and they're saying they're not happy with it because they feel as though they're being pushed to put out videos every hour or every week or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Sorry, not every hour. And it's just ruining their fun. The whole point they went out and started doing it was to have fun, and they said the same thing. It's just taken over. And I knew that from day one. I talked to people, listened to people, and I said to myself, nah, I'm not doing that. And as I say, yes, I'll put some music on some of the videos. Yes, I'll kind of try and posh them up, so as you could say. But I'm sure you would rather look at the views than my face or me giving kit reviews or telling you where everyone's going wrong. You know what I mean? Which is just, there is no one's going wrong. Everyone's got their own way of doing things. And if it works for them, brilliant. That's all matters. You know what I mean? I'm sure people are looking at my videos and go, oh, he's doing that wrong. As if I care. Oh, Rebel's dreaming. He's on the walk again. I swear they relive it when they go to sleep. Didn't see no deer, but the drive to Linn of Dee Woods, the last say 10 miles, is a lovely country road. It weaves and goes up and down and all that. My God, the bunny rabbits. There was suicide rabbits. There was hundreds of them throwing themselves in front of my car. I was swerving. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but you do. It's instinct, and it's to swerve when something pulls out in front of you or runs out in front of you. And these rabbits were running out and then going halfway across the road. And when they could have gone the other way and kept going, they doubled back and more or less straight under my wheels. And oh dear, I must have clipped about 6 or 7. You can't. There was loads of them running all over the place. And then I had birds kind of sweeping in front of the car. And I did have one deer. I don't know what kind of deer it was. It's like the Bambi deer. It's not like the deer we get in the Highlands as much. You know what I mean? What you expect to see in the mountains. No, it wasn't a female and it wasn't the stag. These are very thin ones. And one of them was weaving in front of my car. I was only doing about 10 or 15, but it wouldn't get off the road. So you got to be very careful. This is about 4 o'clock, 4:30. Just crazy. All the animals running around all over the place. Right, before I rub it much longer, and look at that, I feel really lazy. But I deserve it. I just want to have a nice, relaxing sleep. And I'll tell you what, before I do go, every time I come out, when I'm in these places, I have a tremendous sleep. And people say, how do you sleep with, you know, the wind and all that? Trust me, once you've started doing it, that wind is like a soothing sound. I know it sounds crazy, doesn't it? You wouldn't think wind would make you go to sleep, but it does. If it's too quiet, you kind of, I don't know. But once the wind starts going like that, it'll shake the tent every 10, 15 minutes. And years ago, when I was doing it in the early days, you know, getting back into it, I remember I'd listen to every rattle, every noise, and I'd think, oh no, the peg's coming out. Oh no, it's getting loose on one end or whatever. Now you realise it's magnified about 10 times the noises are than what it is. Sometimes it's a blade of grass rubbing the outside of the fabric of the tent. You think it's an insect or a monster or something. You know? You think all kinds of things when it's pitch black. But you wake up in the morning and it's a lovely sunny morning, or you know, you've got a cloud aversion and there's your tent still standing. So people shouldn't worry so much. If you peg it down right and put it into the wind, you've won most of the battles. It's only if the winds pick up to 60, 70, 80 miles an hour that you're going to be struggling. If you don't peg it down right and you get lazy, then you're going to wake up with a tent on top of your face. So it pays. I can hear a bee. Not many midges out. And not just because of the wind, because this wind would die down for about half an hour and there'd be no wind. And it's all these little flies, black flies. They're not the clegs, they're not the horse flies or I think the ked flies or something like that. The deer fly. These are really small, tiny little black flies that just pester you. Then there's the other ones with jaws. I swear they've got big jaws and they were nipping me. That was painful, some of them. Right, I'm going. I'm rabbiting, and right. Stella would say good night, but she can't be bothered. She's in dream world. And Rebel, well, he's completely flat out. He's not even dreaming now. Right, I'll see you in the morning unless something happens during the night. Good night, everyone.